Hello friends, welcome to our channel Ulhaskumar Gokhale for learning. The topic for today is modeling web applications part 2. Today we'll learn modeling requirements. Let us start with the agenda. First we have the introduction, then we'll study the modeling requirements, then we'll take an example of online conference paper reviewing system. Then we'll study the case diagram for the example. Then we'll study the activity diagram for the use case description. And lastly, we'll have the activity diagram of the paper submission process. Let us start with the introduction. So various techniques can be used to identify, analyze, describe, evaluate, and manage web application requirements. Use cases are preferred modeling technique for functional requirements just because they can be represented graphically. The overall functionality of a web application is modeled as a set of use cases which describe the web application requirements from the actor's perspective. So here the actors means the people and other systems which are interacting with the system. So we have to consider the actors here. Then additionally, use cases can be supplemented by UML activity diagrams to describe the functional requirements in more details. So when we are describing the functional requirements in more details, we can make use of the activity diagram. Let us go to the next, that is the modeling requirement. See, one peculiarity of web application requirement is navigation functionality, which allows the user to navigate through the hypertext and to find nodes. So here for web applications, navigation is very important functionality. So it will allow the user to navigate through the hypertext and go to the different nodes which are there in the system. Barsi and others, they have suggested separating the functional from navigational use cases, creating two distinct models. So this was suggested by Barsi. They have suggested that you have to create two distinct models. One is for the functional requirement and other is for the navigational use case. Another approach is UML based web engineering, UWE. So here we have to create one single use case model which uses the UML navigation stereotype, this for denoting the difference between functional and hypertext specific use case. So we'll be using the navigational stereotype for making the difference between the functional and hypertext specific use case. Then let us go to the example of an online conference paper reviewing system. So in our example of online conference paper reviewing system, 4 actors can be identified. First is the user of the reviewing system, then authors submitting papers to the conference, and members of the program committee. They are the reviewers reviewing papers which are submitted, and the chair of the program committee, that we call it as the PC chair. So these are the 4 actors which are identified for the system. And then we show the use case diagram representing part of the use case model for reviewing system, which will serve as the starting point for the further modeling. So that will be the start point for the modeling. Let us see the diagram. So here you can see, here we have the 4 actors: user, author, reviewer, and the PC chair. And this is the use case diagram. So the user will be first registering with the system, and then he will be given the login. So you can log in the system and submit the paper. Then the author or the user which acting as the author, he can navigate, that is the review result. You can see the review result, whether it is selected or not. Then reviewer, which is another actor, so he will be setting the preferences of the papers and he can enter the review of the paper. And then he can also use this navigation list accepted or rejected paper, so you can put it in the particular list. Then the next actor is PC chair. So first of all, we will assign paper to the reviewer. Then he can also use this navigation for browsing the submitted papers, and he can also view the list of accepted or rejected papers with the help of navigation. Then once this is done, he can close the reviewing process, so that at the time of conference, whatever papers are selected, they will be given the preference. So in this way, we can make use of this use case diagram for the reviewing system. Then let us go to the next, that is activity diagram for the use case. Now here, use cases should be described in details. We can describe each use case in textual form or by the use of behavior diagram, for example, an activity diagram. So here, the use case can be described with the help of the activity diagram. So activity diagram are mainly used when use cases are based on more complex application logic. So such a use case, for example, might be implemented as a web service. So we can directly make use of the web service and implement this use case. Now here we are shown this as an example, simplified paper submission process. So this is one part of the use case. So that will be represented with the activity diagram. Let us see. So here we have the submission process. So the user will log in first, and if it is has not logged in, he has to log in. So once login is completed, then he can enter the title and abstract of the paper for submission. Then you have to select the subject group, then select the paper location. If all the steps are completed, then he can upload the paper. And if this is not complete, then he has to go back again, enter the title and abstract, select the subject group and select the paper location. Then once the paper is uploaded, notification will be sent to that particular user. Then the paper which is uploaded is stored in the paper. Then it will be given to the reviewer for the review. So in this way, the activity diagram and the use case diagram, they can be used for modeling the requirements. So with this, we come to the end of this video. If you have any questions, you can contact me on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail or Instagram. Then if you like the video, press the like button, share with your friends and subscribe to our channel Ulhaskumar Gokhale for learning. Then don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notifications for our future videos on this subject, web engineering. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.